I want to tell you that I have no high-end equipment. I simply do all of this on my phone at random intervals where I know it's very quiet. So the audio is going to be very mixed every now and then, just letting you know. I hope it doesn't throw you off. Anyways, enjoy. Animated cartoon characters have been around since the early 1900s, and ever since then, we've seen so many different types of stereotypes, caricatures, and body types.
Invincible's really good.
The type that everyone likes to fantasize about is power scaling, or saying who is the most powerful animated character of all time. Some say it's Goku because it's Goku.
Yeah, it's Goku.
Others say it's Popeye since his workout is fully dependent on spinach, which is a bit of a negation, but I digress. Some say it's Avatar Aang since he can bend all elements. Every other Avatar. Sandy Cheeks knows karate and is a master of it. Every main character in regular show based on how they fight supernatural forces on a daily basis.
A lot of these I haven't seen.
Confirmed kills. I would even say Miguel O'Hara from Across the Spider-Verse based on how hard he choke slams Miles and him using his raw strength to pull open a rift to a different dimension for 30 seconds. And many others.
I don't know. I think a Viltrumite would take him out.
All of the ones I've mentioned and all others combined. And that is Richard Watterson from the Amazing World of Gumball. In my opinion, this show is somehow well-loved and not loved enough. And to be honest, every Watterson family member is godly and strong in their own right. But
Alright, for context, I have not seen this show, so I'm about to get schooled.
Richard is the strongest of them all. I know it sounds hard to believe, but I'll go through every season to show
like the station wagon.
Feats and accomplishments.
Bring back station wagons. SUVs suck.
I'll make a video about every other Watterson member and tell you how powerful they are, and maybe about any other citizen of Elmore. I'll try to breeze over unimportant details to give you a better viewing experience, but sometimes I might have to give you the plot and premise of an episode.
Thanks, Vicious.
Explain what's going on. Without further ado, let's start off with season 1.
Every time I look in the mirror, all I see is the inner warrior staring back at me.
Season 1 is where his powers are breezed over for the most part, mainly because this first season is more quaint
When did the show come
than
out?
the rest of the show, so there isn't much to say about him. But he still has a few moments to shine, starting with the laziest. Richard loads a slice of pizza into his mouth by blowing a pin off a stack of papers that hits a skateboard, which rolls across the floor from the living room to the kitchen, which then hits a chair leg, knocking the chair back onto an open pizza box, launching the slice in the air and landing in Richard's mouth. In the prank, Richard is having a prank war with Gumball and Darwin. He falls asleep and gets put on a raft down a river, which the boys don't know leads to sea. It's not specified how long that lasted, but at the beginning of the episode, Nicole stated that she would be gone for a little while, so let's say 3 to 4 days. And less than that amount of time, he swam from the middle of the ocean, surviving off of coconuts he found and his clothes.
Found coconuts in the ocean? What a chat.
Later on, to get back to the boys, he plans to put a bucket of cement on top of the living room door to fall on the boys, but it took so long for the plan to work that the cement turned to concrete. He then goes full
almost died.
Them, bursts through the bathroom wall, forces himself to fall through
Uh-oh, he's going Kool-Aid Man.
5 ribs in the process, but tanked it anyway to mentally scar his kids. And I
gotta add Kool-Aid Man to this power scaling.
Biker mustache in a matter of seconds twice. In the car, he lost his gut and got a 6-pack in a single afternoon after using an electro fat burner. And in the helmet, Richard
I need one of those.
Land. So starting off, he has just
I could stop eating ice cream.
Nothing crazy, but beyond the average person. And that's it for season.
Or not. Okay.
Season 2 already is ballsy with his power scaling.
Kind of like the animation and art style.
Or in ways that build his character to make him more likable and more like an actual father than he was for the majority of season 1. And where he gets the bulk of his strength is revealed to the audience in cool and creative ways. But I'll also mention how he improves as a parent only when it ties into his power scaling though. I can't just mention everything that he does to make himself a good father. Season 2 in regards to Richard begins with his most iconic power moment in the entire show, the pizza. Richard gets a job as a pizza delivery guy that
really likes pizza.
And this has Nicole scared like crazy. But one day he drops a few orders, leaving Gumball and Darwin to deliver them to the pepperonis, which also inadvertently murder their baby.
Siciliana, come see what the stork brought us.
That turned fast.
Oh, look! He's got his father's eyes.
Thank you so much. Here's a 20.
Just order another one. That was good.
Bananas. Well, throughout the episode, strange things happen around Richard without him knowing. First, he spits some bars.
Here I am. I got
J-O-B, earning plenty of dough for my family. Yeah, I'm Richard Watterson, employee, so have some R-E-S-P, C-K-E. I got a pizza in the box, I got a cola in the bottle, and I get it to you faster when I put it on the throttle.
Then a stoplight changes to every color in a few seconds. A man named Gary, who was out walking his dog, ends up switching places with it after Richard passes him. He drives past his house and makes the kitchen faucet run upward to the roof until turned off. He passes the bananas and has them singing on loop. And this is where he really begins to show us his true power. He makes the sun disappear at noon. He makes it snow in June. He alters gravity. And then he begins to tear apart the fabric of the universe. Every time he revs the engine while spinning some more bars, well, let me show you.
Mild or spicy, my flavors will exhilarate. To get them double quickly when I'm twisting the accelerator. Twisting the accelerator.
Oh, wow.
He launches sonic waves that slow time, make everything float in the air, and even revving the engine can warp the universe. I mean, to see what everyone changes into in just a few minutes. He even turns back time on his family who are trying to stop him. He makes his family drive in a loop until they finally make his next pizza, which will end time and space as we know it. A bright beam of light, something you would see at Christ's return, shines over the house, with Richard being so powerful. His footsteps are changing reality. Clouds turn solid, Nicole melts to a liquid, and the closer Richard gets to the doorbell, the more his kids and Larry, his boss, morph into some otherworldly creatures. And
turn into like a Chad.
The light gets brighter and stronger, showing all that is of the universe will disappear forever. The only way
just for a pizza
is because it is shown that Richard eats the middle of every pizza he delivers. And the world resets to what it was before he was hired. He's sad that he can't support his family, but Nicole doesn't care.
Pineapple belongs on pizza.
And to end it off, he says he'll get another job. And just uttering those words is enough for a bolt of lightning to strike his finger and not hurt himself. Need I say more? Good, because there's more to go. This is just the beginning of season 2.
Whoa, look at those sausage nipples. The hell?
The episode
He's so powerful he can't have a job. Can I have that power?
In the bumpkin, I'll just show you what he does while he has a conversation with Gumball.
Dad, why do I have to go to school?
So you can get a job.
But why do I need a job?
So you can earn money.
Continue ahead.
But why do I need...
Buy the stuff the TV makes us want.
But why do I need...
True.
Because if you didn't buy stuff, everyone would be out of a job and no one would have any money.
Wait.
True.
The rest of my life to pay for stuff that I don't want just so everyone else can suffer the same horrible fate as me?
Exactly.
Yeah, why not? Sometimes you buy things you want too. It's all good. Supply and demand.
He ends up doing the same thing at the end of the episode, saving one of Gumball's friends, Idaho, by taking a shortcut that lets him
Idaho.
hour-long trip in less than 3 minutes. In the game, Richard is able to change his appearance in split seconds for a bet. He can appear from the air from any direction, similar to a vampire. And to end here, Richard also has control over every part of his body, as shown in the limit and the tape. Now, as you can see, Richard is being built up in power slowly. Makes sense, as any anime character doesn't have the strength of a god starting off. I mean, was Goku able to bench press planets immediately? No, but before we go on, I forgot
pineapple with jalapeno? Absolutely.
you ate from inside
amazing.
your stomach. I thought about leaving this fact off the list because it didn't really happen, as it was all in the kids.
That's the best pizza. Now I want some.
But some iconic moments with him happen in thought.
Oh shoot.
But everyone considers what he does in his imagination canon in reality, unless it is shown that to not be the case. Now that that's out of the way, let's move
Hey, this show is pretty cool. I gotta say. When did this come out? What years did this air? I like the animation.
Season 3 kind of has his power all over the place, as this is the first zany season in terms of an actual comedy. Since anything happens in these episodes, his power has infinite chance to evolve over time. But just a heads up, he doesn't grow that much in power in this season. And I'll explain that at the end of season 3. But he began the season strong in episode 1 by showing us his fire skincare routine for kids.
Oh wow. 8 years. Relatable. Skincare routine.
You still got it.
The joy shows us that his love in the form of a wonder hug is so powerful and contagious that it turns the entire staff and all the students of Gilmore Junior High into love zombies that drool rainbow saliva in place of blood, since this is a kid's show. By the way, give us a watch if you want. I recommend.
It's a kid's show?
Whenever the show wants to be scary and creepy, it works wonders. And the puppy, he can deduct where a van that is commonly called the Awesome Store by the whole town is located by spewing random words.
We're here, and we know the store was here. And if we draw a line between them, it spells the letter I. And we all know that there's no I in team, so we know that the van isn't in a store center. But look what happened.
No, there's not.
Line here and here. The Trident of Poseidon, Lord of the Sea. You know what that means? The store is waiting for us at 475 West Elmore Boulevard.
The recipe shows us that he has such a strong connection to food that he can feel their emotions and their pain. He can find a burnt toast in the trash, 100 other pieces in a shed. It even has an Obi-Wan-esque moment when they all get soaked to death. And believe it or not, this is where his power scaling ends for this season. Season 3 was more of pushing the boundaries of the animation, comedy, and emotion, and how to make you feel for certain episodes. Plus, it was used to flesh out more side characters such as Sarah, Rob, Anton, Larry, Penny, and
Are any Cartoon Network shows really appropriate for kids though?
to develop their character traits and make the family feel more natural. It was more of a calm before the storm.
Good point.
And season 4 would do him justice.
Also, R.I.P. Cartoon Network, right?
Season 4 definitely did my boy right. It did more of what Season 3 did, but with more creativity with the story of each episode, which also included one of the most iconic duopoly of episodes in Cartoon Network history. And starting off, we get not just a scene with Richard, but a whole episode. The return begins with Richard realizing his kids have school supplies, and he has only 6.5 hours to find them and get them to school before Nicole gets off of work. He trashes the house and turns back time to retrace his steps. He hotwires his car with his key just by jamming it into the ignition 2 separate times, chased down a semi-truck, and escaped from 4 others trying to trap him. Hotwired another car with his keys, did the same to a docking crane, then an 18-wheeler, hooked up a shipping container by himself and
I swear, when I was a kid, I had a key that opened everything. Like, I found it on the ground, it opened a door, and then I put it in a car, it opened the car. I'm just saying.
in less than 5 seconds and ended up driving to school at top speed and agility with the semi, while having 3 minutes to drop off the kids at the school about 20 miles away in about 35 seconds, by driving off a bridge, in those underpasses like LA, through a house, and a movie theater screen without killing anyone while exclaiming, "I am a good father!" and got his kids to school before the bell rang.
Isn't he also kind of
He is a good father, and the first
a genocider?
becoming stronger than Goku. Don't believe me? Well, let's see what else Season 4 has in store. In the check, the kid's new Grandpa Louie, gives the kids a check for $50, but forgot to put the decimal point on it, so everyone thought it was worth $5,000. And because no one can decide how to spend it, Nicole takes it to cash it at the bank. She needs to get the car fixed, but somehow can drive an invisible vehicle.
Yes, but I know.
It's the most creative car chase where there are no cars, just the family making the noises and maneuvering their way to the bank. Richard drives a semi, at least that's what I can deduce from his attire and how the clutch works. Mainly just a visual gag for everyone to look at and laugh hard. In the routine, Richard is tasked with getting mayo for burger night. He gets dressed in a proper warrior's attire and sets out on a quest to a supermarket. He meets
as you do
on his journey a witch who sees a perilous fate for a night, a highway bandit who technically are in service of the government, but
we are same, but different. But still same.
But still same.
He lost his car, Cartex, in a pool of asphalt. And
R.I.P. car. I'd be so sad if I lost my car.
Was demolished, destroyed, and shot to oblivion by a T-Rex. Knowing he has to get his sweet fate her mayo for burger night, he travels to a trash dump where the dinosaur lives to retrieve his mayo and escape. After a tense battle, he gets his mayo. It even finds Cartex in the
big dinosaur.
After being reacquainted with his brethren, he fights the monster until he finds a way to escape, and does so by tricking the T-Rex into a dead end and riding on its back to escape. He then returns home, the mayo in the fridge, and with him getting the rest he deserves.
This was your favorite part to work on?
Well spent, still his family can enjoy their meal. In the uploads, Gumball and Darwin get trapped in the YouTube recommended page, or for them, the Elmore stream loop. Richard gives a review of a game that comes pre-built on computers called Calculator. And
Calculator?
Okay, it's called
calculator. You take a character and you pick up a pair of binoculars and you spot the treasure marked by the X, obviously. But be careful, because as soon as you get the treasure, there's this snake thing. But it's okay, because you can pick up the axe or the bow or the arrow and kill it. Then see what you've got. Hey, I got a new high score! There's a couple of little glitches with certain commands. Like if I try to use the arrow with the balloon, see what happens. So, pretty good game, 8 out of 10, would play again.
In the order of part 1,
nice. 10 out of 10 would play again.
Like, not even joking, he just eats fire. The Signal is where I have
Calculator is an amazing game.
Richard can do. It's just a meta episode where the world is affected by a broken TV signal, and only Gumball realizes that something is wrong. He randomly lags, freezes, melts, and cuts to different scenes that end up
I like that edit.
him and almost ends their friendship. Now when this happens around Richard and the boys are fighting, Richard lags as if he is glitching like everything else. But he just
Well, that's just a regular Tuesday morning.
This is it for Richard in season 4. He has evolved faster than anyone pictured or even imagined. We were just getting started with his true form being unleashed on the world. And this isn't even the limit of his power. We are in fact just getting started. Now let's commence forth to season 5.
Well, he definitely beats Peter Griffin in the power scaling, I'll tell you
Season
that.
5 of Gumball in general is looked at as the out of context season, not only housing the highest rated episode of the entire show, which is The Choices with a 9.7 out of 10 on most ranking sites, but also Richard's most iconic episode ever. By the way, watch The Choices. It is so beautiful and hilarious, but
the backgrounds keep getting better and better.
Of those YouTube short films you'll find every now and then, or the same quality as those Disney short films from the 2000s. We have to do a bit of a skip between episodes, but we will start with the most meta episode of the entire show, The Copycats. To explain this episode, in real life, a Chinese food company / animation program called Saiyun Foods made their own show called Miracle Star, which was released back in 2014. And it was a blatant ripoff of Gumball. It kept the characteristics of the show.
Yeah, they do that, don't they?
Basic character traits, similar designs, and only changed the species of animal they were. Stole episode ideas and combined them together, and many more. The only original thing from that show was taking out Anais, the little girl, because of China's 2-child policy. Basically, Miracle Star was an only child until his parents...
Wait. Are the copycat shows real and then they... In the show they were reacting to the copycats and then they put the copycats on their show? Is that what's going on?
Parents adopted another boy. In the episode, the Ripoff family has an in-universe show that copies all of their adventures and everything about their lives. Seriously, when they do something, they make a video to put in their show of what happened in a matter of seconds. They even have the same movements when they fight against their own copycats. I mean, look at this. The only thing that's fighting is Anais.
It's okay.
Would have a doppelganger of her to have the same idea. When they get
that's insane.
Handle though, they decide to live so dangerously that hopefully the fake family offs themselves so that it stops. And I'm not joking. They said this on Cartoon Network verbatim.
Gumball, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No, Chi-Chi's thinking what I'm thinking.
Exactly. Let them copy you at their own risk. Just live your life as dangerously as possible and hope they off themselves trying to copy you.
Damn, that's dark.
By locking himself in chains with his teeth and taking a bath wrapped up. Also juggling 3 chainsaws blindfolded. That's all he does in this episode. But if you're wondering what happened to the family, they drove off a cliff with a semi-truck carrying an oil container with a fire trailing them. And the reason they didn't get out that truck safely like the Wattersons did is because they don't have an Anais doppelganger. They canonically died here. I'm not joking. Richard decides to chill up until the box. The mailman delivered a box to the Wattersons' house, and they don't know who it's for or what's inside of it. The family takes turns imagining what could be inside of it. Gumball believes it's a portal gun from Portal. Nicole believes it's a lot of money and goes through the plot of
that would be fun
for old me. And Anais believes it's a zombie virus in a case, but Richard imagines it's a phone that utters the words Lazarus. In this
Lazarus
story, Richard can use 100% of his brain and has his mind wiped from the procedures, only remembering the code phrase. He
like the Gerudo Valley.
Save the president from being blown up on a public highway. He speeds there and fights off the assailants barehanded and with a phone which was on a timer to explode. I won't explain what else happens here, but I'll leave a link to another video explaining the scene and how strong Richard would need to be to do this. The diet is Richard at his most powerful. In this episode, he is trying to lose weight, but instead of following one diet, he takes a dozen of them him and just eats more than he did before. Because of this, the boys attempt to get him to eat less food. But after a while, they discover that food is the only thing that motivates him. So they have a training montage by tricking
as it does many people.
Food and then moving up to fruits and vegetables. He loses a lot of pounds and becomes slimmer in what looks like days, but in reality, it was only a minute. The kids leave him to keep working out, but are completely bewildered to see that he not only lost a lot of weight, but that he gained a huge six-pack and biceps. But all this muscle gain made him a douchebag. He ends up accidentally making everyone around him uncomfortable with his muscles.
He's on an anabolic.
Started posing with it for his chat snap account. The only thing that makes him remember who
a chat snap
is seeing everyone eating some type of food around him. And with that, Richard is gone. May we remember him
Richard
all the time. It's a shame that Nicole never got to see the absolute.
Thought he had a six-pack in season 1.
In the menu, Richard is home and overhears Gumball talking about a secret menu at Joyful Burger. Gumball was at the mall when he said that. After that, Richard's
a corn person
up and he instantly ran to Gumball, clocking in at 200 miles per hour, running through a dozen houses and almost
Sonic
incomplete bridge. In the deal, Nicole gets a promotion at work and is honored with Employee of the Month. Because of this, Richard feels unappreciated at home since he takes care of the kids and is never congratulated for the good work he does. Granted, his methods are questionable and confusing to understand, but when he tells Nicole that he will go on strike until she
ripped space off.
The kids become gremlin-type creatures with no one to supervise them. They trash the house, almost...
They would just switch the words for social media for copyright. Yeah.
Everyone almost makes up with his ghost.
I think it's funny.
Gary in his mother's wedding dress. Oh, and he also killed it.
I always called Facebook book face.
Can get the kids to calm down is
I still do.
Calls the kids, similar to Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, but he gets them by saying whoever won between themselves in a fight could launch the next door neighbor over with a makeshift slingshot. Another reason as to why Richard is a good father. And that's all for season 5. We've had some of the best episodes of the show, whether they be in overall quality, humor, or Richard being a force of nature. I believe he
watching a potato get it eaten.
And has become an equal rival to the entire regular show cast, Popeye, and maybe even Goku. Hopefully he will be able to surpass Goku in our final season as of February 2024.
Oh. There's another one coming?
Season 6 is a season looked at as more commentary on our
When did this video come out?
At least around the 2016-2019 era. Trump got into office, SJWs were running rampant, protests were popping out everywhere, and the LGBTQ community was gaining more ground in mainstream and media, conversation, and society as a whole. Many topics of what the show talks about.
What you do? What? Potato didn't care.
Almost 5 years after season 6 ended. And while I am writing this, season 7 is in production. Just a little fact for y'all. And while season 6 is the biggest season of the entire show, it's also the season that Richard's power scaling slims down, because this season was meant to not only fully develop
so is Cartoon Network not over, or are they finding a different network?
But also fully develop some other background characters, and also tease the then upcoming movie, which was supposed to.
So I thought Cartoon Network was in trouble.
Was delayed due to unforeseen circumstances.
Oh yeah.
There are still some worth mentioning. In the slip, Richard falls out of a plane and direct impacts a mail truck with no broken bones. And the way he found the mailman, he was on the phone with him and overheard some peanut oil boiling. And just from that sound, he was able to deduce where he was.
There are only 3 restaurants that use that kind of oil. Joyful Burger, but they switched to large substitute because it was cheaper. Sloppy John's, Filthy Burgers, but they were shut down because of that whole rat burger incident. That only leaves that diner next to the pet cemetery, but they shut that down seemingly for no reason. This doesn't make any sense. Wait, unless it isn't a restaurant, it's a food truck! Diagnosis Burger on the interstate!
In The Possession, Richard bonds with a fridge from having it from a kid to an adult.
Correct for pre-crime.
Ends up sucking him into
Must be inspired by the movies.
Their fridge stored memories because it was.
I haven't seen that.
And anything can be found in there, no matter how weird. And finally, in The Master, Richard makes the family bond over Dungeons and Dragons because they're mad at each other all day, and they end up working out their frustrations and forgive each other. And that is the end of Richard's power journey, at least until season 7 comes out.
Old Robert Redford movie, I see.
I'd say for sure he's in S tier. He may not be top S tier, but he definitely goes above Goku, Popeye, Aang, and the entire regular show crew. He is outmatched by Finn the Human and Jake the Dog, Omni-Man, and a few others. Now this was really—
You think Omni-Man's stronger than Goku? I don't.
See what all Richard has done in terms of growing in power exponentially, but like all training arcs.
But I've only seen the show. If you've read the comic, I don't know.
To make a video on each Watterson family member.
I don't know what happens next.
If this video gets 30 likes, I'll make a video on either Gumball or Darwin. The others will be after that. And if you want me to, I'll make a scale video on random characters in Elmo. But for now, I rest. Please subscribe, thank you, and good after evening.
What was that about? No idea.
It's fine, you don't have to. So yeah. That was good. Alright, here you go. Go subscribe and like Cole Eclipse's video, guys. He only got 24 views. Let's go. That was good. I knew nothing about that show. That was a good show. I liked it. There you go. Yeah, it's a good video. Yeah, good job. Now I know I have another show I need to watch. You know, I'm gonna post it here in chat. If you guys want to go give him a sub. Good content. Please make more content. Your video essays are really good. You have a nice voice. Very concise. And your words are well put together. Thank you. I mean, let's get him to 100 subscribers. I mean, we're only 2 away, guys. Come on. 99. One more. Let's go. I'm gonna refresh this until one more person subscribes to Cole. Alright, we got another one. What's this one? Oh, there's a short? Okay. There we go. Is it his birthday? Just so to see it every now and then. Yeah, you know what? I used to look up to Bill Gates, and then I don't know, he just became like an evil dictator, right? Back when he was like the cool like 90s nerd, and then I don't know, I just don't eat meat, meat bad. Here, eat this lab-grown meat, and then he's like in a queue, like a burger stand. He's like, but not me. You do what I say, not what I do, alright? Lab-grown meat, ridiculous. Buy local, there you go. How about that? Buy local. Regenerative farming. What else you guys got here? Oh, you know what? There were some others that I didn't get through. From Wednesday. So let's do that. Have a bunch. We at 100 yet? I need one more person to go subscribe to Cole. Look at that. Yeah, you're getting like got some views. You know, I actually used to teach lightsaber classes for a few years. You probably saw it on my channel. So. I think that's my only, it's my only video with like 100,000 plus views. Refresh. 101, Cole, congratulations. You just hit over 100 subscribers. Let's go. That was a great video. Yeah. Yeah, feel free when you upload video in the Discord, just under self-promotion. Don't feel embarrassed. That's what it's there for. You don't worry. Every time you upload video, you can just put it in there. It's fine.
Want to see more of this madness? Use your katana to slash that like button and be sure to share and subscribe. With your help, we can grow this community together. Join our Discord for extra chaos and catch live streams on Twitch. And just remember that you matter, have a happy birthday, pet your cat, and let's embrace this madness together.